We're going to have a great day, and we have some exciting news to announce to everybody this afternoon. So we're going to end this week out right and come out on a very, very high note. Before we get started too much today, I do want to take some time to introduce a few folks in our audience. First and foremost, please give me a help in recognizing our President, Allison Garrett here. Welcome her. We also have the President and CEO of the Kansas Board of Regents, Dr. Blake Flanders. Please welcome Blake Flanders here. I believe I saw Vice President Jim Williams, Vice President of Student Affairs back there. If you could raise your hand, please welcome Jim. Shane Shively is here, our President and CEO of the ESU Foundation. Please welcome Shane. His colleague and partner in crime, Vice President for Stewardship Administration, Jennifer Denton, is here as well. Please welcome Jennifer. And I believe I saw Dr. Brent Thomas, Dean of Liberal Arts and Sciences. Please welcome Brent Thomas here. And Dr. Weaver is here as well, our Dean of the Teachers College. Please welcome Dr. Weaver. We're here for a bell ringing, so we're going to get that bell ringing going. So I would like to welcome to the very front of the room Danielle Foster, an elementary education major from Colby, Kansas. She'll be joined by Mark Snyder. Mark is a teacher here in Emporia at Village Elementary, as well as Timmerman, I believe. We told him one more quick introduction. I just got out of my corner of my eye there. Dr. Rich, our interim dean of the School of Business. Please welcome Dr. Rich as well. Well, as Danielle and Mark and Amelia ring Little Joe here in the ballroom, Silent Joe is ringing at Welch Stadium. Silent Joe has a wonderful history at Emporia State University. The bell located inside that tower dates back to the 19th century administrative building. It no longer stands on this campus, but that bell has been in that tower outside of Welch Stadium since 1939. And Joe always rings in honor of our Hornet victories on the gridiron. During the Now and Forever campaign, the largest and most successful campaign in ESU's history, Silent Joe has been used to celebrate the many victories that have stemmed from generous educational partners who invest in the future of Emporia State University and our students. And that bell has certainly been ringing these last 3 years. We've been charged as Hornets and as a Hornet Nation to truly be silent no more. And we are ringing loud and proud today. And why is that? Almost 2 years ago, the Kansas Masonic Foundation began planning for its 50th anniversary. They wanted to not only celebrate the 50th anniversary of their organization, but also the rich history of Kansas Masonry here in Kansas, which dates back to 1856, 5 years before statehood. They reached out and invited public universities to develop programs and partnerships with the Masons in Kansas. They were looking for programs that were good for Kansas, good for the school, and good for the Kansas Masons. They wanted to involve their membership, they wanted to involve their lodges, they wanted to involve their Masons. They were willing to commit resources, but they needed ideas. Meanwhile, for the past several years, the administration and faculty of the Teachers College were dreaming. They were dreaming about creating a literacy center, a center that could provide services to Kansas kids, Kansas families, educators, as well as communities. Knowing that literacy is the foundation of all learning, they had the idea of leveraging their expertise to improve literacy rates and to truly enhance lives. They had the ideas, but they lacked the resources to get their ideas envisioned. That letter sent 2 years ago has now resulted in a partnership between the Masons of Kansas and Emporia State University. Last week, during the 160th annual communication of the Grand Lodge of Kansas, on a day proclaimed as Kansas Masons Day, the Kansas Masonic Foundation publicly announced the Building Kansas campaign, an effort which includes the creation of the Kansas Masonic Literary Center at Emporia State University. Today, we celebrate a $4 million pledge, the largest financial commitment ever made to the university, and that deserves a round of applause, so go ahead. And certainly in addition, we celebrate the Masons of Kansas, their commitment, their generosity, their partnership on a program, the Kansas Masonic Literary Center, a center that will be a key asset in building Kansas, and a key asset in helping us change lives for the common good. If you're a member of the Masons, would you please stand right now and be recognized, and let us express our appreciation. Thank you for the Kansas. To explain a little bit about the impact of this gift, I'm going to invite Dr. Ken Weaver, our Dean of the Teachers College, to come forward and speak about that. You've heard of an expression of clicking your heels in the air when you're excited. You know, you jump and click your heels in the air. I always thought that was just an expression, like something that was used in maybe like in cartoons or something, or on Lucky Charms boxes, I don't know. I'll tell you what. Our Dean of the Teachers College has literally been clicking his heels in the air when he hears about this gift and is excited about it. So please welcome one more time our Dean of the Teachers College, most excited Dean of this campus, Ken Weaver.
It has been much fun over the last month or two to listen to the terms that have been made, or the phrases that have been made to capture this momentous occasion. Things like once in a lifetime, once in a career, transformative, unique partnership. The phrase that has resonated with me the most comes from Beth Dover. Beth, if you would stand. Beth is one of the lead co-authors of the proposal for the center that we celebrate today. Please recognize her. So her phrase is literacy legacy. Those two words convey the all-encompassing focus of what this innovative partnership is striving to attain, and the now and forever impact of the center itself. If Emporia State University were a sponge, and someone was to squeeze that sponge, 153 years of literacy training would gush out. Across all majors, across all schools and colleges, and across those 153 years, reading, writing, and listening and speaking have been enduring outcomes for all Hornets. Literacy is not in ESU's DNA. Literacy is ESU's DNA. William Allen White, who was not a Hornet, was committed, as we know, during his legendary tenure as the Emporia Gazette editor and publisher, to literacy. Across his career, it was like an echo effect between Emporia State University and the Emporia Gazette, including those two Pulitzers that brought fame to Emporia and notoriety in a good way to Emporia. In 1952, a former Gazette employee, to honor and recognize the memory of William Allen White, worked with a group of faculty from Emporia State University to create the William Allen White Children's Book Award, to ensure that the children of this state would have a love and enjoyment of reading, not just any book, but good books. This past October, we had the 63rd annual celebration of those book awards. It was wonderful, and already right now, the 64th celebration is being planned. In 2009, Emporia State University received the second ever Certificate of Distinction from the International Literacy Association for preparing outstanding reading teachers. In 2013, world #1 novelist James Patterson identified Emporia State for his Patterson Scholars to recognize the university's commitment to literacy in preparing both elementary and secondary teachers. Right now, 16 Patterson Scholars are receiving full ride scholarships because of the generosity of James Patterson. In 2014, Roger Caswell, where's Roger? Roger was another lead co-author for the proposal for the center. Please rise and thank Roger is the executive director of the Jones Institute for Educational Excellence. He and the National Writing Project partnered to create the Flint Hills Writing Project, which is the only writing project in the state of Kansas. So now, over this continuum of 153 years, we find ourselves at the arc of 2016 in the beginning of something very new and very special. This partnership with this wonderful Kansas Masons to establish the Kansas Masonic Literacy Center. Truly, truly exceptional. Starting in January 1 of 2017, 10 schools across the state, geographically located in each of the 10 districts that the Kansas Masons have, will be selected. Their principals, teachers, and an Emporia State University consultant will form a planning team that will collaborate to produce for that school a school literacy plan intended to target the greatest literacy need that that school has. To make that plan come alive, each school will receive $75,000. Those funds will be used for programs to support consultants going into the school district to deliver on-site professional development, to provide books and other literacy materials for the children in those schools, and to fund community-based family literacy programs. We gather today because of the generosity, the extreme generosity of the Kansas Masons. But they are taking generosity to a new level, because those Masons across the state in all of those communities will be volunteering to participate in those family-based literacy programs. There will be resources left over, and there is a rich menu of options for those resources to be used depending upon the situation of that local school. So a school in one part of the state might have a different set of needs than a school in a different part of the state. So for example, those options include summer reading academies, providing training in reading recovery, sending teachers for professional development, having teachers earn their national board certification, having teachers add the reading specialist endorsement to their license, and others. The involvement will last for 3 years. At the end of that third year, there will be a new plan created for that school that will sustain the gains in literacy that have been realized over those 3 years. The transformative nature of this work requires that those gains be sustained. And with that, the efforts will move to a new group of 10 schools. And 3 years later, a new group. And on and on and on. And thanks to the generosity of the Kansas Masons in perpetuity. So thank you, Kansas Masons, for your incredible commitment to Kansas, for your adventurous spirit, and for recognizing in Emporia State University the strong and reliable partner for the hard work of transformation. Thank you very much.
Could you tell he was excited? I'm glad he put his heels on the stage here, because I'm not sure the stage can stand. But have him do it sometime. He did it on Monday at the council meeting. It was impressive. It was impressive. The whole council was like, how'd you do that? I don't know. Dean Weaver, thank you for those remarks. Thank you for sharing the impact of that. And to tell us a little bit more about why the Masons have chosen Emporia State University in this program to invest in, I would certainly like to welcome up Mike Tavares, the president of the Kansas Masonic Foundation's Board of Trustees, a member of Hancock Lodge number 311, located on the beautiful and historic base of Fort Leavenworth, as well as Lynn Byer, the Grand Master of Masons in Kansas and a member of Old Mission Lodge number 153 in Prairie Village, Kansas, among several others, I believe. So please welcome Mike and Lynn to the stage.
That was awesome. Well, I'm going to keep it a little shorter than that because I'm not very good at public speaking. President Garrett, distinguished guests, and Brother Masons, welcome. I'm proud and humbled to be here today. Proud because I'm part of this great undertaking. As Masons, we're taught to constantly seek the light of knowledge and of learning. Then once we've learned it, we're taught to pass it on, help others. Our core values are brotherly love, belief, and truth. Today we embark on one of our core values by providing relief, our funds, to a great and awesome idea born by you. And we are proud to be helping you in providing relief to children for literacy. This literacy campaign is a powerful tool. We're providing this to children as an enabler. We're going to enable them to achieve success in life. I want to tell you why I'm also humbled to be here. I'm going to tell you a story about the power of literacy. It's a short one, I promise. Imagine being a frightened 10-year-old child walking into a 6th grade classroom for the first time. The language spoken in the classroom is foreign. You see, for the first 10 years of his life, he spoke very little English and did not remember ever reading or writing. Imagine that little boy being told that his English skills were so poor at the end of that year that he needed to reconsider repeating the 6th grade. This determined 6th grader said no and embarked on a life's journey to prove them wrong. He went to a small school called White Preparatory Academy from the 7th through 12th grade, attended college and graduated with a bachelor's degree in mathematics. He joined the Army as an officer and led the world's finest men and women. And just for fun, he learned how to fly helicopters. I've served in the Army as a soldier and civilian for almost 37 years. Somewhere along the way, I got married and raised a family. I have 2 wonderful children who are both college graduates. And I stand before you, a humble and, in my opinion, young man. I'm still learning because I was given a chance to go to a great school, excuse me, where learning was their chief goal and literacy a requirement. I've been blessed, and now I think it's time to take a great opportunity to pass the lamp of learning and literacy on to future leaders of this state and country. Again, thank you for the opportunity to participate in today's ceremony and this endeavor.
I would be remiss if I did not introduce a few Masons. Brother Bob Shively happens to be the executive director of the Kansas Masonic Foundation, and he is with us today. also have a number of trustees, but I'm going to go into deeper waters and introduce to you most worshipful Michael Halloran, past Grand Master of Masons in Kansas in the year 2014, and also a noted Masonic author. Most worshipful. And our junior past Grand Master, most worshipful Darren L. Keller. Would you please stand? The key to developing literacy is learning to read. Without reading skills, an individual's ability to understand the written word is limited at best. Literacy allows a person to achieve goals, increase knowledge, reach their potential, and participate successfully in their community and their profession. In Masonry, we are asked not only to read and understand our teachings and symbols, but also to memorize them. Being able to read and learn our work is imperative in order to teach new Masons our lessons. And to complicate that even more, most of our work is in code or cipher. Without the ability to read, learn, and understand, Masonry and society would grind to a halt. Masonic values change people's lives. This literacy center will change people's lives. Mark Twain said, "It is noble to teach oneself, but still nobler to teach others." My motto for the year is serve, teach, lead. Emporia State University is taking that approach in this exciting new literacy center. They will be serving people by teaching the skills necessary to become better. And by doing this, they are leading. Masonry teaches men brotherly love, relief, and truth, as you have heard. We also teach faith, hope, and charity. Especially charity, because not only does it help our fellow man, but our charity will live long after we are gone. The funding of this literacy program by our Kansas Masonic Foundation, the philanthropic arm of the Grand Lodge of Kansas, makes all Kansas Masons proud. To be of service to our fellow man is very pleasing. Add to that, this prestigious university, with an already nationally recognized library program, I feel that all Kansans can and will benefit. I thank you for the opportunity to speak on behalf of the 17,000 Masons in Kansas who wish Emporia State University every success in their new literacy center. And if President Garrett, Allison, if you would come up here, you're speaking next anyway. I would like to present President Garrett with my gold coin for the year, which has on it, serve, teach, and lead. And to illustrate the importance of being able to read, being able to write, I would also like to present to you my first book, which, when somebody asked how long did it take you to do that, I said 55 years and 10 minutes. I would like you to have this. I've read it.
One of the great thinkers of the age wrote, "The more that you read, the more you will know. The more that you learn, the more places you'll go." And I bet Amelia knows that that was written by Dr. Seuss. And that is so true. We have so many students in Kansas, so many students across the nation, who in the 3rd and the 4th grade are not reading at grade level. And we know from studies that those students are less likely to graduate from high school, more likely to be incarcerated, less likely to participate in our democratic processes. And that inability in the 3rd or the 4th grade will have a lifelong impact on their earning potential. This is the kind of project that will benefit Kansans not only today, but it will benefit the children and the grandchildren of those students that the Masons will be working with across the state of Kansas. One of the Kansas Board of Regents' goals is that of educational attainment. This builds the foundation to help assure that Kansans are ready for college and that they will achieve that educational attainment. We are so incredibly grateful for the generous gift from the Masons, and we look forward to that wonderful partnership over the next 10 years and perhaps even longer, while we partner with the Masons to assure that Kansans are developing those reading abilities at the earliest level. Thank you so much, and please join me again in thanking the Masons.
Steve Williams to the front, our chair of the ESU Foundation. Please welcome Steve Williams, and you can get your glasses ready to go.
Thank you, Tyler. Welcome, distinguished guests. All the descriptive adjectives have been used to come to mind to describe the honor it is today to recognize the generosity and the tremendous impact this gift will have on learning in the state of Kansas from the Masons of Kansas. We generally appreciate that. Being chair of trustees has its challenges, but it also has many of its perks. Today is definitely one of those perks, and it's a pleasure to be here to represent our trustees and to thank you for your generosity on their behalf. I became, as I was sharing with Grandmaster prior to the session beginning, with the proclamation that appeared in our last Friday's Wichita Eagle. I learned more about Masonry probably in that proclamation than I probably knew coming into it. And it's amazing the amount of charitable work we do in this state, and we're proud to be a part of that. Thank you very much. If you would raise your glass, this is non-alcoholic. This is Corky's Punch. We do have children in the room, so anyone can drink it, and please stand and join with me in a final toast, first toast, whatever toast, to the generosity that has been exhibited by the Kansas Masons.
Let's hear one more time for Steve Williams and this amazing gift. Thank you so much for taking some time on your Friday to join us today. Thank you for all of our guests for being here. Can we have one more big round of applause for our Kansas Masons who are here? 4 million claps for him, right there, absolutely. So, as we close today, I'd like to invite all the Masons in attendance at the conclusion to come forward for a photo opportunity with our president and your leadership. Everybody is welcome to stay for the reception this afternoon and enjoy some time. Thank you so much for being here. Masons of Kansas, thank you so much for this generous gift that you've given to Emporia State University to create the Kansas Masonic Literary Center. Here's to Kansas Masonry and here's to literacy, much more in the future. Thank you for being here. Have a good afternoon.